So Jennifer Rubin has a blog called The Right Turn, whereas Ezra Klein has Wonk blog. Okay, so this is the kind of thing that happens when others are in charge of conservative writers and, you know, where they end up and everything. But he's saying that we should be vigilant about that ourselves to resist the temptation to be pigeonholed that way, not only from the outside but from within, that it's tempting to build an audience solely made out of people that already agree with you on the right. But if your goal is to spread out and make more like you or reach more people that don't necessarily agree with you and convince them, that you've got to watch the ghettoization very carefully because it will marginalize what you do.
I have a question about that, and I found myself very much agreeing with Matt's article, but as one of the founders of the Conservative Union, which is the oldest and largest conservative political community on Google Plus, we before we created ourselves, we discussed what we were going to name the community, and we wanted to be straightforward and upfront and clear who we were and what we were about. We didn't want to be obscure or fake or pretentious like, you know, friendly politics or the friendly Super Friends network. We wanted it to be very clear that we are conservative, because what you see quite frequently on the left is they will avoid naming themselves the liberal something or other. They'll call themselves Talking Points Memo or Sensible Politics, which is a liberal progressive community on Google Plus that was about the same size as us before they lost their funding. By the way, I think they were professionally funded, but they called themselves Sensible Politics, as if to say only the people on the left are sensible, and we found that, you know, kind of offensive. But by the same token, there is a school of thought that is that, you know, normalizing the left, making it that, you know, the left stuff is the norm. You don't need an adjective to describe yourself if you're a leftist, because that's just correct. That's just the way people are. And we always put the adjective in front of the conservatives because they are other. They are freaks. They are weird. So I don't know which way to come down on things. I'm still proud that we're called the Conservative Union, because that's who and what we are, rather than the Happy Sunshine Friends Network.
But I think really what you did is you made an identification place for a specific purpose, which was gathering those people that identified together. That is different from a persuasive and outreach, a outward-looking and an expansive model.
Like National Review Online or Hot Air, those don't say conservative in the title, is what you're saying. So,
right, but what their purpose is to gather people or to bring people to hear their opinion. Okay, they're trying to get their thoughts out to as many people as possible. Conservative Union, as I understand it, was built as a community of like-minded people to discuss strategy and tactics and things like that. Right. In order to unleash those people to go do the other type of thing. I don't think they're incompatible. I think you have to have a very specific goal in mind and fit your name to that purpose or fit your title to that purpose. We're the Free Radical Network. You have no idea what that means. You have to come look. But what we thought was radical was doing things that tried to reach people outside of the conservative bubble. That's how we defined it initially. So, but it still pays off benefits because we can talk to people and retweet people, and it's not apparent right away that we are conservative.
It opens us up to a lot of conversations that we otherwise might not be a participant in. You know, it's something that doesn't just sort of lay all the cards out on the table, and that's something that's very useful, I think. And Matt talks about it, why he writes for Slate and why he writes for Daily Beast, all these other publications, because being able to talk to a lot of different people means that he's disseminating his ideas. And that's kind of important if you want to affect the culture, if you want to get your message out. Ironically, the way that you get your message out is by getting your message out. And that's what he's doing. And instead of talking to the same people over and over and over again, he's just going out there and trying to hit as many people as possible.
So the article was about how to be a better social justice warrior by banning certain words out of your vocabulary. Words that you should not say because they offend people. Now, here's the thing about social justice is that a large part of it is about making sure you do everything in your life so that you never offend anyone, ever. And so you need to change the things that you say, the things that you think, the way that you act. And, God help you if you're a straight white man because just innately you are offensive.